So do you think I'm your biggest fan?
Sounds like it. I appreciate that.
Well, so, okay, jokes aside, although I am a major fan of yours, which is the whole reason I asked you to come here. I love your books. I love your materials. I've used them for years myself and now with my students. So I have a few questions about them. One of them, this happened to me a couple of years into my interpreting career. I don't know why, but for some reason, I was in a dictionary and I realized that ACEBO in Spanish means holly.
Yeah.
So, who came up with that, and how did the ACEBO materials come to be in any case, and what was it like to make them?
Well, my husband came up with ACEBO. That's how I pronounce it, ACEBO. A lot of people say ACEBO. And he really was instrumental in the development of the materials, because when I first started teaching, I would attend workshops. The California Court Interpreters Association, CCIA at the time, offered workshops to help people prepare for exams, and their members were experienced court interpreters who would develop materials. I also, one year, did a training of trainers at the University of Arizona, the Agnes Howery School of Interpretation, I think it's called. And people there also developed materials for training, which I shamelessly stole and used in my own classes in Monterey. So I took things that I got from elsewhere, wrote my own materials, just from memory or making things up. I really enjoyed writing consecutive scripts. And I used them in my classes, and then afterwards people would ask me, my wife kicked me out and dumped all my stuff, burned my materials or whatever, can I get another copy? Or I lost whatever it was we had in class, can you send me copies of everything? Or I'm going to be teaching, can I use those materials? And my husband got tired of me going and copying things and mailing them, and said, why don't you sell this stuff? Turn it into a book. So we did. And he was a technical writer and illustrator, and he knew a little bit more about publishing than I did. So he was really instrumental in making sure that those things were professionally done. Originally, they were 3-ring notebooks, which got destroyed in the mail when we sent them out. So they eventually became bound books. And that's how it all started. It just was a more convenient way. If it were up to me, I would have just given everything away, but he made sure that I sold them.
And well-deserved,
to generate some income. Sorry, what?
I said well-deserved, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
so anyway, if it weren't for him, they wouldn't exist.
So so basically you started kind of compiling materials, making your own materials, and then it got to the point where people really wanted them, so you started selling them. And you hear your voices and your husband's voice, right? Mm-hmm. Are there other voices on there as well?
Yes, friends. In the Edge 21, we asked other interpreters to make recordings so that we could get different regional accents. The problem was there was very uneven quality because they did them on their own in different settings and not always professionally. So that wasn't such a great idea. And I think that my son and daughter-in-law, who now run the company, had some professional voice talent re-record. Maybe it's the Turbo supplement that they had re-recorded. The quality got better over the years because we would actually go to a studio instead of trying to do it at the Monterey Institute, where students were walking by or motorcycles driving by, or my son was practicing the piano in the background of one of the early ones. So they were gradually improved in terms of the sound quality.
I mean, I've used them and I feel like they're, yeah, they're very good. I guess there's every now and then maybe you hear something that doesn't quite
Yeah.
work in the background, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that you undersell yourself.